This month marks 77 years since the last Japanese internment camp in America closed.
And in Phoenix, the deciding factor for who was forced to go and who wasn't came down to a line that was cutting right through the heart of the city.
Team 12's Michael Dowdna has the story about the life-changing costs of a line.
Grand Avenue's history is more than a street, more than a line on a map.
That one line represented freedom and unfreedom.
That line determined fates. Karen Leong is a professor at ASU who studied the stories of Japanese American lives caught in the middle of World War II. Lives like Helen Tanita.
It wasn't easy. It was kind of hard, rough.
Helen grew up in the Valley in the 1930s when Japanese families formed a community.
Our church was on the south side of Grand Avenue.
And during a time when laws prevented immigrants like her parents from owning land, Helen lived like a typical American, going to high school, falling in love, playing tennis.
My sister and I played double, and I think we won every game.
But life changed on December 7th, 1941.
A date which will live in infamy.
On February 19th, 1942, FDR issued Executive Order 9066, which authorized commanders to draw military zones and send more than 100,000 people of Japanese descent into internment camps.
It was really traumatic. They had to sell all of their belongings quickly. They didn't know if they'd ever return.
In Arizona, the order cut the valley in half, slicing along Grand Avenue, cutting across Van Buren. Those to the north could stay, but those to the south were forced to leave.
Just that distance arbitrarily determined who was suspicious and who was not.
Those forced to the camps lived in barracks, under guard, as their possessions on the outside often were taken from them.
Others had to default on their mortgages, and the United States government, they took all their cars and used them for the military effort.
And for those that stayed, they faced a half-life full of curfews and uncertainty.
Our parents says, well, you better get married, otherwise you don't know where you're going.
But there was another problem. While Helen was on the right side, the north side of Grand Avenue, her church was not.
So we couldn't get married there.
So instead, she found another church to get married at. But rules kept everyone but her parents from attending.
The FBI wouldn't let us have a big wedding.
And when Helen had her first child, well, she needed to get approval from the FBI to go to the hospital. And a white woman, not her husband, had to accompany her.
We had to get permission for everything, everything.
For years, this was the life that Japanese Americans had, either in camps or facing restrictions.
Fear based on difference, any kind of difference, but especially racial, is devastating to a community.
The last internment camp closed finally in March of 1946. Since then, many of the signs of the old Japanese community disappeared. Helen's church, south of Grand Avenue, is now a shopping center with a Senor Sushi. And Grand Avenue is now known more for its traffic jams than the dividing line it once was. Michael Dowdna, 12 News.
Wow, it's hard to believe that actually happened here.